An icon of abstract expressionism, Jackson Pollock was born on January 28, 1912. Pollock enrolled at the Art Students League in New York City and studied under the painter Thomas Hart Benton.
There's this years and years of study and absorption of other styles and rethinking of other styles. And then he sort of brings all of that together and he develops his own unique take on it.
Pollock's early work was semi-abstract, showing influences from Picasso and Miro, as well as the Mexican muralist Diego Rivera. In 1943, he had his first one-man show at Peggy Guggenheim's Art of This Century Gallery in New York City.
He was already on an incredible trajectory of success and achievement in his work.
During World War II, Pollock met fellow artist Lee Krasner. She would become his wife and one of the most important influences on his art, his career, and his legacy.
There's no question that Jackson would not have been as successful if Lee was not in his life.
The two moved from New York City to rural eastern Long Island.
It was very important to get him out from under the pressure that he was under in the New York City art world. He did not respond well to pressure, and he needed to be productive in order to have a career.
Jackson Pollock had a problem with alcohol, and because of that, there were some tumultuous scenes in the house, even in front of guests.
But for all the turmoil in his private life, his personal work thrived. In 1950, he affixed his canvas to the floor and began dripping paint from a can using a variety of objects to manipulate the paint.
He was already a well-known artist. Then the drip paintings happen, and there are these moments, I think, when someone makes something that just sort of sets a spark.
His drip paintings were successful. In 1949, Life magazine asked, "Is he the greatest living painter in the United States?"
I think he had a moment of great crisis when he did receive recognition.
In July 1950, German photographer Hans Namuth photographed and then later that year filmed Pollock working in his studio.
That seemed to be a fairly unsettling experience for him. It's been written that he started drinking again after that film was made.
He felt as though, he was some kind of trained animal that was appearing before the cameras.
At the peak of his fame, Pollock abruptly abandoned the drip style, and in 1955, he completed what would be his last two paintings.
The last year of his life, he didn't really paint, but he was really struggling.
On August 11, 1956, at the age of 44, Pollock was killed in a car crash.
It was one of these cases where he was so angry and also probably heavily drinking.
Today, Pollock is considered one of America's greatest artists, and he is the undisputed leader of the abstract expressionist movement.
The question of the drip paintings being high art, I think, is something that's been filtered through popular culture since the time that Pollock was making them. I think that that's a sign of its very power.